Hi, this is CNY Woman Knits and Crochets. I'm Mindy. I'm known as Knitter CNY on Ravelry and Instagram. And thank you for joining me today. Grab something to drink, grab a project, and I'm going to be your crochet partner for about half an hour or so, maybe an hour. We'll see how long I feel like talking and working on this baby blanket. I am working on a baby blanket that's done with single crochet in the back loop, and everything is good with that, and I am liking it. I'm using a size L hook, and that's an 8mm hook. I'm using a Prim ergonomic hook for this. Also, incidentally, if you are tuning in for the first time and like what you see, subscribe below, give it a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm find people who want to watch crochet content, and it also helps me out with the podcast so I can get out to more viewers. And you can always leave a comment, and my standard question is, what project are you working on, or have you bought any yarn lately? So I have bought yarn lately. I got some more Bernat blanket yarn, so that's good. I have bought some from Amazon because there was some that was on sale for $12.99 for a 2-pack. So I got 4 of those in black and white. And then there was some on sale for $6.97 a skein. So I got a couple of those in blues to do a baby blanket, because I can do this ripple baby blanket with 2 skeins. This color is called Spring Blossom, and it's Bernat baby blanket. There's 220 yards, just like the regular blanket is. 10.5 ounces, 300 grams. I don't know how many meters because my label's over in the other room. I did a short live today, so you can go to the live tab of my podcast page, and I basically show you the pattern, give you a link so you can find the pattern, so you can go check that out. I was on less than 10 minutes, but I basically show you how to do the project. It's a free pattern from Yarnspirations, so it's not like I'm giving anything away. You can go find the pattern, and it's super easy. I like it a lot. I've used it a lot. The setup row is really super easy, and instead of skipping 2 at the bottom, you just skip 1. So it comes out with a cleaner edge, I think. I think that's why they did that, but it looks really nice. I've got a lot of other blankets going, but I felt like I needed to start a baby blanket with Bernat, the blanket yarn, because I got to start using up the blanket yarn, and I have a lot of it. I have bins and bins. We've talked about this. I filled 2 30-gallon bins with Bernat blanket yarn last week. If you want to go back and look at my yarn haul video, you're more than welcome to do that. I went to Ollie's. They have Bernat blanket on sale for $4.99. The sale started last Thursday, so I don't know what's left in your store. It looks like the way they advertised that they had done a buyout from Joanne, so I'm hopeful that maybe they'll get some more. You know, maybe they'll buy some more from Joann's. That would be nice, because $4.99 a skein is really good for Bernat blanket. And then I also got my order from Yarnspirations. when they were having their 40% off sale. It took a while to get to me because their whole site was 40% off, so a lot of people ordered and they were kind of overwhelmed in the warehouse. So sorry if I look down. I have to look down at my crochet. I am not one of those people who can do crochet just by feeling it. I can do that with knitting, only because I've done that for years with knitting. I haven't crocheted quite as much. I knew how to crochet and crocheted 35 years ago, and I've done, probably in the last 2 years, 3 years, I've done more crochet because I tend to crochet the baby blankets and blankets that I make for Project Linus, because it goes a lot faster to crochet than to knit something. And also when you crochet something, I think it's sturdier for a blanket because you can't get a hole. It's really harder to get a hole in a crocheted blanket than it is a knit blanket. A knit blanket, you can lose a stitch and the project runs, you know. I use Bernat blanket a lot because it's machine washable and dryable. So, and it's pretty affordable, you know, and it's super bulky, so it goes faster. That's why I use it. I also use Puzzle for corner to corner blankets. You'll have to pardon the noise if you hear any wind in the background. We are getting heavy winds right now. We got freezing rain before, earlier this afternoon. So now we're getting wind. Fun, fun, fun. I'm glad I'm inside. Hopefully this won't affect, it's not downstate or anything like that, because I want to watch the Yankees game tonight. And what else can I tell you? Well, like I said, this is a good project to keep me busy. I did most of this last night. I've only done a couple passes tonight, but the Bernat baby blanket and Bernat blanket works up fast, and that's why I do it. Yeah, you can start to hear that little howl a little bit of the wind. Guess I don't have a whole lot to say today. I didn't do a whole lot over the weekend. I recorded for the podcast. I got some food from Chipotle. That was about it. Hung out with the friends, watched the game Saturday over at their house. So that was good. they live on the other side of town from me, so it's, you know, like a few miles from my house. So it's no big deal to drive over there and just watch the game with them. And it was a spectacular game. Oh, if you know of any good 1 or 2 row repeats for Bernat blanket yarn, please leave the link or tell me what the pattern name is in the comments. I'm looking for some patterns that are easy, that I can use about 4 skeins of for a throw size blanket and about 2 skeins for a baby size blanket. Right now I'm using this ripple pattern because it only takes 2 skeins and it's super easy to do. And I use Suzette stitch a lot for my 4 skein blankets, because Suzette stitch is easy, and I can use a size O hook, which is a 12mm hook. That's a tutorial that's on YouTube, and I can't remember. I think it's Play Hooky with Me does the tutorial. And I've done griddle stitch or lemon peel stitch. That one took about 5 skeins, so I've got some yarn from Joann's that I'll use for that. I have a red color that I'm going to use when I do that pattern again. Yeah, the next blanket yarn I work with is probably going to be patchwork. The Bernat blanket patchwork, because I've got 2 skeins of that from Joann's that my friend, when she called me and made the trip to Joann's to buy herself yarn a couple weeks back, she also got me some yarn. She picked up yarn for me, so that turned out really well. I paid her for it, obviously. And I think it's still sitting in a garbage bag in my kitchen, just waiting to be used, because I don't have the space right now to put it anyplace. So I will use that yarn probably first before I attack the totes. Coming along. I think I'm going to end here because I really don't have too much to say, other than if you've made it this far, please, like I said, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment with what project you're working on, name of a pattern that would be good for blanket yarn to make baby blankets or throws. And I hope you guys have a great week. I'll probably see you next weekend, depending on how I record.